Hello, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is a message from your higher self. So, what that means is that this is a message from the more like esoteric, universe connected side of yourself, and it could be a message about something that will happen to you. It could be a message of advice. It could be a message with clarification about something that happened to you in the past. And there are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest selecting the pile that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 2, Settle, because the image on this card reminds me of a painting that I saw in San Francisco, which I went to for the first time a few weeks ago. And I was in the Museum of Modern Art there, and I saw an image that looks like it was like a woman sitting on a couch staring at the TV, but it really just reminds me of this particular picture. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, Design, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, and the 8 of Pentacles. For your chocolate lovers cards, we got creativity and abundance. All right, my pile 1, so what does your higher self want to say to you? We start off your pile with this 10 of Swords. And so immediately what I'm hearing is that you have been through a really painful ending in some area of your life. The 10 of Swords is the card of painful endings. It's the card of feeling defeated or hitting rock bottom and feeling like it's going to be hard to pick yourself back up. But the positive side of this 10 of Swords is that in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the imagery of this, it has someone kind of laying defeated on the ground, stabbed by 10 swords, but in the back behind them, these dark clouds are kind of clearing up. And so it represents that the worst of it has gone away. And now that you've experienced the worst, it can only go up from here. But it can be hard to have that perspective when you're in the moment and you're laying on the ground and all you can see is, the metaphorical puddle of blood around you. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is something that has happened relatively recently, or it's an ending that still impacts you a lot in your day-to-day life. So like, for example, you could have had a really painful, romantic breakup. And because of that, because of whatever this ending was in your life, you went into this 9 of Wands energy, and 9 of Wands is a feeling of being injured, and it can also indicate someone who is paranoid of being hurt again or letting their guard down, someone who has their barriers up in such a way that it's prohibiting them from being able to move on. So I feel like with whatever the situation is, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a breakup. Like I said, it could be some other ending. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost a friendship. Maybe you were just suffering with your mental health. Whatever it is, there's this distrust of the world around you, or taking new chances, or letting your guard down, or allowing yourself to be vulnerable because you already feel like you are hurt. But the universe wants to tell you, your higher self wants to tell you that the way to flip this situation around, and that's what's represented by the 9 of Wands in reverse, is overcoming this feeling of being overly defensive or having your guard up in such a way that you're not experiencing life, is to embrace a new philosophy and a new level of clarity, which I believe will be coming in for you, represented by this Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords chops away any of the confusion, any of the mental fatigue that you have been going through. So if you're struggling with your mental health in particular, your higher self wants you to know the way to flip this around is by kind of embracing a new philosophy, in that you have the power to get rid of this, and that for any of you, regardless of whether this is about your mental health or a breakup or whatever, you protecting yourself is a noble thing to do. It's normal to want to protect yourself and to not open yourself up to the possibility of being hurt. But also, when you are so defensive and so closed off, you're also closing yourself off from the possibility of finding joy in the risk you take or the people you let in. And so the universe wants you to know that you have the power to take control of your life and decide who's in it or what happens in it. And that's the philosophy that you should really be embracing, because your higher self wants you to go from this Ace of Swords to the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is someone who recognizes their own mental ability to make things happen for themselves. They think logically, and they're a master of this logic. And the Ace is the first card in the sword suit, and the King is last. So it really represents a mastery of this kind of mental thing that you have to work past. So you go from this moment of clarity to really implementing that clarity or that new philosophy into your life in such a way that you end up feeling more stable, more happy, more connected with yourself and the kind of life that you lead than you did before. And this is all kind of encapsulated in the last card in your spread, this Eight of Pentacles, which is about, yes, having to put in work, because I do think any switch from this Ten of Swords, this feeling of defeat, this feeling of loss, this feeling of being in rock bottom, and the Nine of Wands, which is feeling defensive, feeling wounded, to go from that to this King of Swords, which is someone that is mentally sound, they're sharp in their logic, and they can communicate what it is that they want with themselves and other people. That does take work. It takes a lot of mental stamina, but your higher self knows that you have the ability to do that. And the Eight of Pentacles also indicates enjoying the work that you do. So even though this is hard work and it does take time, ultimately both the journey and the outcome for you will be satisfying, because as you start to incorporate more joy and less defensiveness, less barriers between yourself and the happiness and the beauty of the world, you will start to really enjoy yourself and really be proud of everything that you've accomplished. And this goes with your pile marker, which says design. And on the back of this card, it says, how does your life fit your needs? If life changes are necessary to express the true you, now is a good time to make them. And those life changes are represented by this Ace of Swords, which is something new that comes in for you. And the sword suit in particular is about kind of your mental thoughts, your life philosophy, clarity, realizations. And so this feels almost like an epiphany that you have one day where you're like, I can continue kind of ruminating in my feelings of loss and my feelings of hurt, or I can try to find ways to remedy that, or try to find things to be happy about, or try to find things that will make my life feel easier or more fulfilling. And that's what your higher self really wants you to do. Your first chocolate lovers card says Chocolate Sundae Creativity, and on the back it says unleash your creativity and open your mind to positive energy, and things around you will start to fall into place. Join an art class, redecorate your home, update your wardrobe, or change your career so you may feel freer to live your own life in your own creative style. Creativity comes naturally to me. I am open to new ideas and concepts. I enjoy the satisfaction that comes with my creativity. So the openness to new ideas and concepts, that is exactly what is represented by this Ace of Swords. And this is your higher self giving you some suggestions. So maybe you start, you take an art class. You start decorating your home, you get new clothes, you decide to apply for jobs that will make you happier. But your higher self wants you to know how much power you have, how much control you have in your life, because you are this King of Swords. You have all of the ability to make things happen for yourself as this King of Swords. You just have to tap into that energy in order to get out of this Ten of Swords feeling of defeat. Your second chocolate lovers card says Chocolate Fountain Abundance. And on the back it says, this card affirms that despite how things may feel, life is overflowing with abundance. Your hard work has paid off, and now is your time to reap the reward. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you are on top of the world. Embrace the incoming tide of positive energy. Go with the flow, accept blessings with gratitude, and know that you are brimming with abundance and good fortune. Abundance is all around me. Abundance is my natural birthright. So again, for a lot of you, I do feel like this is almost a mental health thing. And I'm not saying that, I mean, it's really easy to tell people that have like mental illness, like, just be positive. Obviously, that doesn't work if it's your life circumstances or whatever. But, you might not be able to cure yourself completely, but there are ways where you can learn how to take care of yourself more and find little things to bring you joy, because I mean, I know personally I have been depressed before. Sometimes it can be hard to even do simple things like take a shower, but once you do, doesn't it feel like amazing? So I think it's one of those things where sometimes you have to force yourself to do something that maybe you physically don't feel like you have the energy for, but once you do, it just kind of brightens up your mood. But with this incoming tide of positive energy, and your hard work has paid off, and now's your time to reap the reward. That is exactly what this Eight of Pentacles is about. It's about hard work, but also the rewards that come with it and feeling satisfied by that. And this is also your higher self really asking you to not dwell so much on the bad things that have happened to you or the things that have hurt you, and instead think of the endings in your life, whatever this Ten of Swords was. Think of these endings not as a complete defeat or like you have nothing else to look forward to, but like a redirection towards something that is better for you. Because, this reminds me of, I dated someone for like 2 years and blah, 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 we broke up. But when we broke up, I was like on a trip to come see that person, and I did not go see them because we broke up, and I ended up going somewhere else, which is where I got my first tarot reading, and that's why I started reading tarot cards. And having that creative outlet and being able to kind of focus on learning something that obviously I still do and I still really enjoy was very helpful in not feeling like I've lost something. I was like, now I have the time and the energy and the experiences to kind of devote myself to this new thing in my life. And I think that is something that your higher self and you, as you are now, would find very valuable. So my pile ones, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2, settle, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands, the Hermit, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Swords. For your chocolate lovers cards, we got Love and Bare Basics. Okay, my pile 2s, what message does your higher self have for you? We start off your spread with this Wheel of Fortune. And immediately what I'm hearing is that your luck in a specific area of your life is about to turn around. The Wheel of Fortune is something that takes you from the bottom where you feel like you're down on your luck into kind of having this glorious new thing almost fall into your lap. There's definitely a sense of like serendipity or things falling into place or things just happening for you without you having to really work too hard for it. So your higher self wants you to know that this level of luck is available to you. And in particular, I think for like 95% of you, this luck is coming into your relationships with other people. And for most of you, I do think it is romantic relationships. However, it could be relationships with friends, coworkers, your family, whatever that is. And with this Two of Wands here, this is something that you think about a lot. So for example, if you feel like you don't have a lot of friends right now, maybe you've thought about how you would like to have friends, or you'd like to have a friend group to hang out with. If you're single and you've been single for a while, you probably think about how you would like to date someone. You'd like to have a nice romance. If you have kind of a strained relationship with your family members, you think about reconciling or what it would be like if you could get along and like hang out and be close to each other. because the Two of Wands is a card of planning and trying to figure out ways to execute those plans to make your manifestations and your wishes come true. And I think this is also reflected by the Hermit card in the middle of your spread, because the Hermit is really a card about self-reflection, but it is also a card of being alone and by yourself. So I think this is a double-sided thing for you. I think you really yearn for this relationship, this closeness with other people that you think about quite frequently, especially with the Hermit on this card looking towards the Two of Wands. I think that this is something that kind of runs through your mind quite frequently. But the Hermit, again, is also someone who is alone and has been alone for a while and kind of needed that distance from other people in order to reflect on what kind of relationship they really wanted for themselves and with other people. And so you're of these two minds where you're almost comfortable being alone because there's no expectations on you to act a certain way. You don't really have responsibilities to other people. So like if you don't have a lot of friends, you don't really have the expectation that you have to hang out all the time. Maybe you're an introvert, you really love your downtime. If you're not dating anyone, you don't have this expectation of having to... Oh, I just heard that for some of you, if you like someone or you're in a relationship, you feel like a lot of pressure to kind of live up to their expectations in a way, like you want to almost mold yourself into the kind of person that you think they would like. But it's easy for you when you're not dating anyone because then you don't have, any expectations on you except your own. You don't have to guess what it is that someone else wants and try to fit yourself into that box. But you do think about it all the time. You think about how nice it would be if I could have this thing that I want, this relationship that I want, this romantic partner, this friend group, this relationship with my mother, my father that I want. And that's represented by the Queen of Cups, which is someone who's very affectionate, who has a lot of abundance in the relationships in their life because they are caring and they're nurturing and they're empathetic and people just want to be around them. And they tend to have very strong, loving, caring relationships. And I think this is kind of your soft, gooey center that not a lot of people get to see because you do tend to put distance between yourself and other people. For a lot of you, you could be Cancers or have a prominent Cancer placement in your natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But with this Two of Swords at the end of your spread, Two of Swords is all about decisions. And so I feel like you have this decision that your higher self wants to convey is that you might be comfortable being alone, but you can't have this thing that you want until you open yourself up, until you make a move, because the Two of Swords can also indicate stagnation or a refusal to kind of move in either way. So for example, if you really want a romantic relationship, are you going outside? Are you attempting to meet people in any kind of way? If you really want friends, are you asking the people that you think are cool to hang out? Are you texting them? Are you checking up on them? If you want to improve your relationship with a family member, are you inviting them over to dinner? Are you trying to talk to them? Are you trying to relate to them in any way? If you want to improve your relationship with your coworkers, are you expressing your needs or seeing if they need help with anything? Because it feels like for a lot of you, it's not that you're actively against those things or like refusing to do them. It's just that if you do that, then you open yourself up to the possibility of feelings of rejection, and that can be difficult to reconcile. But what you're afraid of, if other people decide that they don't want to be friends with you or they don't want to date you, there's nothing that you can do about that. You can't control other people's emotions. You can only control your emotional reaction to that. And so that's something that you really have to work with, and that your higher self wants you to know is that with this Wheel of Fortune, you have all the tools at your disposal to have the kind of relationships, the improvement in the relationship sphere in your life that you really want. But you will not have that until you decide to kind of be proactive about it and do something for yourself in the pursuit of forming or maintaining or strengthening these relationships. So your pile marker is settle, and on the back of that it says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? If you choose happiness, a win-win situation will emerge. This is true success and a great relief. And so this goes with this Two of Swords to me. So Two of Swords is a card of decision, and I feel like your decisions are, on the one hand, being alone and being comfortable because there's not the possibility of being hurt by other people. And also you're only beholden to your own criticisms, to your own expectations. But then you also are not giving yourself room to experience the kind of relationships that you want. And on the other side, you can choose to put yourself out there and maybe experience rejection or feelings of inadequacy, but also get to experience the closeness and the new life experiences that come along with that you want to have. So you can be right in the sense that you don't allow yourself to be put in a situation where things don't work out for you, or you can be happy. So that's what it wants you to know, is that you have to put yourself out there. You have to try to find ways to cultivate the things that you want in your life. So your first chocolate lovers card is Valentine's Day chocolate, which love, which says on the back, romance and love abounds, a time for love and healing approaches, as does opportunity to make peace with yourself. If you are single, new love is about to enter your life. If not, your existing relationship has potential to transform to higher levels with renewed passion and romance. Before you can truly love another, you must first learn to love and accept yourself, flaws and all. I love and accept myself just the way I am. So again, I'm picking up very strongly that the thing that's holding you back is this fear that you are inadequate when it comes to relationships. So for a lot of you, this is romantic relationships. You don't feel like you can have the kind of romance in your life that you want. For others of you, this is friendships. You feel like it's hard for you to make friends, difficult for you to make friends. For others of you, if it's like a family thing, you just feel like you can never live up to your family members' expectations. And the key to this is that you have to be comfortable with who you are and not base it on the reactions of other people, because like I said, you can never control if someone else is going to reject you or be rude to you. You can only manage your own self-concept and make sure that if you do face those feelings of rejection, you have a strong enough foundation to know that you are still deserving of love and that there are people out there who will love you or care for you in the way that you crave so badly. Your second chocolate lovers card says raw chocolate, bare basics. And on the back it says, this card heralds a time of upheaval, anxiety, and pressure. A situation that may appear to be out of your control will arouse raw feelings of hurt and angst. A time known as the dark night of the soul may soon be realized. Let go, surrender control, and ride out the storm until a sense of calm and resolution can be found. There will be signs along the way, warning of approaching positive change, so remain vigilant. Awareness is the key. This too shall pass. And that's exactly what I just said, is that, what is the exact phrasing on this? It says, a situation that may appear to be out of your control will arouse raw feelings of hurt and angst. So again, I think that it's difficult for you if you perceive other people as rejecting you or not wanting to be friends with you. It's really easy for you to take that into heart, because I do get the sense that the people watching this pile are pretty sensitive. And so you have to be able to accept, again, that you cannot control how other people react to you. You can only control how you respond to their reaction to you. And it really starts with understanding that you deserve the kind of relationship that you want, and you have the tools available to find people that will cherish you and want to be in your life regardless. So that is it for my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, Miracle, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 10 of Pentacles, the Devil, the 4 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 5 of Wands. For your chocolate lovers cards, we got Child at Heart and Achievements. All right, my pile 3s, what message does your higher self have for you? We start off your pile with this 10 of Pentacles. And what I'm hearing is that for a lot of you, you had a particular situation or a person, a relationship, a job. You had something in your life that you saw as being there long term, or you wanted it to be long term, and you just invested a lot into it because Pentacles are all about stability and grounding and kind of growing your investments, turning the resources that you've put in into something more long lasting. And so, for example, I think for a lot of you, this might be even like an unrequited love situation. Like maybe you met someone and you were super into them, and you thought, we have so much in common. I can just see us like really being together. Like in theory, we go together so well that we should get together and be happy together. And for others of you, this is a particular situation, like maybe you kind of fantasized about yourself being offered a particular job that you applied for, and you thought, I can really like start a career in this field. And for others of you, this is not necessarily something you wanted, but a particular situation, like maybe an argument or falling out that you've had, or something someone said that rubbed you the wrong way, that has really kind of taken up real estate in your mind. And that's represented by the Devil, which is the card of obsession. So I think this is something that, because you have invested so much time thinking about it, or you invested so much time in trying to get it or make it like a manifestation into your life, it really just like runs through your mind all the time. So for example, if this was someone that you have like an unrequited love situation with, that you just saw like so much potential with, so much room for the future, then you are still maybe thinking about this person, or you're still kind of obsessed with trying to get this person to see what you see. If it's a career, you're still thinking about how badly you want it and what other ways to like get there, or how you feel betrayed that you lost out on it. If it's a particular situation, it's just something that kind of haunts your mind. But your higher self wants you to know that the good news is that you're transitioning from this Devil card, which is a card of obsession or feeling attached to things that are no longer serving you, into this 4 of Cups energy. And the 4 of Cups is a card of indifference. So we go from obsession to indifference, and that can be really invigorating. It's like when you dated someone and maybe the breakup was really hard on you and it was hard to move on, and then like 2 years later you're like, oh, I think it's that person's birthday. It's like that. Like you don't even notice that you wake up one day and you're not bothered by it anymore, or it's not running through your mind, or you're not you don't have strong feelings about it anymore. And I think that for the people in this pile, this is going to be a positive thing for you, because the Devil can also represent things, like I said, that we are attached to that are no longer serving us. So I don't think it's serving you anymore to let this situation, this person, this opportunity that you missed out on run through your mind anymore. And so your higher self wants you to know that you will be transitioning. You will get to this point of indifference. And I feel like maybe for a lot of you, you want to be there. You want to be at a place where this thing doesn't bother you anymore or run through your mind all the time. And your higher self wants to assure you that you will get there. It might take some time, but you will get there. And that's also reflected in the next 2 cards in your spread. This 3 of Pentacles in reverse. The 3 of Pentacles upright can indicate putting something or someone on a pedestal, or kind of seeing them as this almost like sanitized, venerated version of what it is. So this could be for that job, for example. Maybe you just kind of saw it with rose-colored glasses and you didn't realize the downsides of it. Like maybe it wouldn't pay you enough money to like maintain the kind of lifestyle you want. Maybe it would have actually been a lot more difficult or a lot less glamorous than you thought it would be. Or if this is a particular person that maybe you wanted to have a relationship with, maybe I think the thing that you liked about this person was like, it's almost like you got a little context clues. Like maybe they said something where they like, I like this TV show, and you're like, oh, I love that TV show. Imagine us like sitting on the couch together watching it. And it's like, no, he just likes the same things that you do. It doesn't mean that he or she or they would be a good partner. And I think that as you transition from this feeling of obsession, this feeling of attachment, to this feeling of indifference, you will be knocking them off of this pedestal, which is why this Three of Pentacles is in reverse. You will start to see that this person is not somehow better than you, or like ideal, or the situation was not as ideal as you thought it was. And I think that you built it up a lot in your mind. But having that realization that you are on the same playing field, like you deserve things that are good for you, and this was not necessarily like the best thing for you at the time, is going to be a really eye-opening realization. It's going to be very freeing for you. And this is also represented, like I said, by the last card in your spread, this Five of Wands, because the Five of Wands is the card of kind of like petty, everyday arguments. But in particular, what I'm picking up on with this Five of Wands is that in the traditional like Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, the Five of Wands is represented by like children kind of play fighting each other. And so I think you recognize now that I feel like for some of you, when you experience like trials or tribulations, when you're working towards something you want, it almost like flips a switch in you of like, I have to try harder. And I think this also goes with the devil. It's like, so for example, if this is like an unrequited love thing, like I said, if you felt like you were being rejected by this person, then you would try harder to like maintain their attention, or try harder to like be the kind of person that they wanted. But now you realize that actually this is childish. Like, why am I fighting for something that's not fulfilling, and it doesn't actually like bring me anywhere? And that's what the Five of Wands is like representative of. So there's a great feeling of release here, but towards a better place for yourself, a more emotionally fulfilling, less toxic place for you mentally. So your pile marker is miracle, and on the back of that it says, miracles occur naturally when we choose love over fear. Notice the miracle happening in your life right now. It is meant for you. So this miracle in particular is being able to kind of see yourself as someone who is on the correct path, and knowing that the things that are meant for you will align with you, and being able to let go of the things that don't serve you, or are not good for you, or make you feel bad about yourself, or make you feel like obsessive and less attuned to the other possibilities of your life. And your first chocolate lovers card says milk chocolate, child at heart. And on the back of that, it says, embrace the big kid in your heart, awaken the inner child, and go with the flow, and others will warm to your easygoing nature. Nostalgia and memories will be at the forefront of your thoughts, and you may find yourself becoming easily bored with your present life. It is important to say whatever is on your mind with the innocence and honesty of a child. Stay grounded and steadfast. I go with the flow, allowing in what I want and letting go of what no longer serves me. Speaking my mind always serves me well. And the thing that I'm really picking up from this card is this message of being able to go with the flow, which I think, again, goes with this Four of Cups, which is indifference, and just kind of letting the things that are meant for you come into your life, and not being obsessed about chasing after things that don't seem to want you, or craving validation from people or things that have kind of rejected you. It's being able to kind of sit with yourself and recognize the ways in which you are worthy of praise, you are worthy of the things that you want in your life. And if something or a situation or someone says otherwise, then that is not something that you need to have in your life. And so you need to embrace this feeling of being able to let go of the petty things that have come your way. And like I said, with the Five of Wands, it's usually represented by children play fighting. And I feel like you have taken this thing so seriously to where it feels like it's an actual battle, when in reality, this is just kind of a little blimp in the story of your life. And once you realize that and are able to move on, I think that your life really picks up. And that's what your higher self wants to tell you. Your second chocolate lovers card is almond chocolate achievements. And on the back of that, it says, this card speaks of high expectations, grand ideals, and elevated priorities. It signifies the workaholic and the overachiever. Be mindful of your goals and how you plan to achieve them. While it is healthy to aim for the top, it is important to never forget the people and situations that helped get you there. Take a break every now and then. Take the time to ponder where you came from. Remember your roots. Pay attention to family and friends. I enjoy the fruits of my labor with those who helped me get to where I needed to go. So for some of you, this thing that you're obsessed with is actually work. Like maybe you've really invested a lot into your career. Maybe you worked really hard to get degrees or certifications to be good in your career field, or you're working extra long hours to the point where you are basically a workaholic and it has consumed your whole life with this Devil card. But your higher self is saying you're going to transition to a place where you have a healthy level of attention towards your work. So you find more of a work-life balance and you don't let it become the reigning thing in your life. And for others of you, if it's not about work, it's really about recognizing that all of this effort that you put into this particular situation or person with the 10 of Pentacles is effort that you could have been putting into yourself, or having fun, or cultivating the other areas of your life that actually return things to you. So you're being encouraged to think about the people that do care about you, or the things you have in your life to look forward to that don't ask you to kind of sacrifice your health or your well-being or your feelings of independence in order to enjoy them. All right, my pile threes, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, discipline, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Lovers, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Death in reverse, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Wands. For your chocolate lovers cards, we got goodness and adventure. Okay, my pile fours, so what message does your higher self have for you? We start off your spread with this lovers card, and what I'm hearing right off the bat is that there is someone in your life, either currently you have a relationship with this person, or they are still lingering energetically, as in you had a relationship with them previously, but there's still the impact of their presence in your life is still very much present. And this person you probably were very extremely close with. It could have been a romantic partner, but either way, there was like a mutual understanding in this relationship. Like it felt like you two had a lot in common, and that's kind of what drew you two together. And there was really excellent communication. Like it was like you just understood each other's thought processes and values, and you had a shared language when it came to your relationship. But with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse next in your spread, this person slowly over time revealed themselves to have some qualities that were not conducive to having like a symbiotic relationship. So the Queen of Pentacles in reverse can indicate someone who has really high expectations of other people that are unfair, or they ask for a lot more from other people than they are willing to give. It can be someone who's really materialistic. So it could be someone who you felt like was using you for your resources, or kind of using you as like a ladder towards an end goal for themselves. And it can also indicate someone who is just like a little bit uptight in a way that makes you feel really judged. And for a lot of you, this person could have been a Capricorn or had a prominent Capricorn placement in their natal chart, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But these qualities made you realize that this is not a perfect relationship. I feel like a lot of you ended up feeling a little drained or used, or you felt like you weren't receiving the same amount of effort or the same amount of energy that you had to put in to satisfy this person from that person. It felt like there was a great imbalance in this relationship. And with the Death card in reverse in the middle of your spread, this indicates a resistance to change or move on from this relationship. It indicates a resistance to ending it, and it could be from your side or this person's side, but either way, that's why I say energetically this person is definitely still lingering. It could be that you know that your relationship with this person is fraught. So it could be, for example, like a best friend you have, and you know the friendship has run its course and it's no longer like fun for you, but it's hard to let this person go. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's because there's this fear that you won't be able to replace the kind of special nature that your relationship previously had. But also it's difficult to set boundaries or like let people know that your relationship is no longer working. Those are just hard conversations to have. And so I feel like for a lot of you, you might be a little bit non-confrontational anyway. So you don't really want to have an argument with this person about how you are feeling unsupported in the relationship. And it could be that this person doesn't see an issue because they're the ones who are like benefiting the most from the relationship. And that's why they are like hanging on to you. And so either way, there's just a lingering atmosphere here because there's a refusal to change with the Death card in reverse. But your higher self wants you to know that you will have victory in overcoming this and making a change in your life. And for some of you, this could be mending the relationship. For others of you, this could be being able to move on. And if you have a fear that you won't be able to replace this friendship, this relationship, whatever, this card signifies victory in that area of your life. So your higher self wants you to know there's no reason to worry about you being alone or being friendless or not getting the same kind of emotional reciprocation that you crave in close relationships, because you have it out there for you, and the universe is waiting to give that to you, but you have to be able to establish boundaries first. And I feel like this is almost like a learning lesson that your higher self wants you to go through, so that way going forward you can have more healthy symbiotic relationships in your life, because you are able to say, this is what I need and I will not settle for less. And the Four of Wands at the end of your spread is a reflection of that victory in creating new, solid, healthy relationships. The Four of Wands is about stability in relationships, and in particular relationships that have a lot of excitement, like a spark to them. The Four of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck shows a wedding. So in particular, if this is about a romantic situation, your higher self wants you to know that you might fear that if you let this person go, you'll never find another person that you can see yourself being with long-term romantically. But that's not true. If you let go of this person, you open up yourself to the possibility of having this beautiful, victorious marriage, long-term relationship that you want. And the same thing goes for friendships or other kind of relationships that you might have in your life that are no longer serving you. And this all goes with your pile marker, which says discipline. And on the back it reads, much can be accomplished now through discipline. Set up a routine and abide by it. Great rewards follow. And I think the discipline that your higher self wants you to do is being able to establish boundaries and recognize when things are no longer working for you or when they are not serving you anymore, because the people in this pile have a tendency of giving over a lot of themselves in order to appease other people, to make other people like them, but you're not actually getting anything in return. So your higher self really wants you to be able to establish, am I enjoying this relationship? It doesn't matter as much if this person likes you, because they've already chosen you. They've decided to enter a friendship with you, enter a relationship with you? Are you still enjoying being around this person? Because I think sometimes it's hard for us to put our own feelings first. And I think your relationship with this person is draining you emotionally, but maybe also of your resources. If this person is very materialistic, or they just want a lot more out of you than what they are willing to give. So your higher self is encouraging you to set boundaries, be very clear and concise in your communication about what those boundaries are, and do not let someone tell you that your boundaries are wrong or make you go back on them. It's like they say, if you're going to give someone an ultimatum, you better actually stick to it, or they're never going to take you seriously. Like if you, for example, if you were in a relationship and you said, if you don't start being more romantic, like I feel like you don't like me, I would like some kind of proof of your feelings of affection or romance towards me. If you don't start being more romantic, I do not want to be in this relationship anymore. And they don't make any effort, like they don't buy you flowers, they don't want to take you on a date, or maybe they do, but only for like a week just to please you, and then they stop, then you can't just keep asking them over and over again to do it. It's either they're going to do it or they're not. So you need to accept someone's answer to your request, to your bids for affection, for maturity, for responsibility, for responsiveness, whatever it is. You need to take their actions in response to that at face value and decide, am I really willing to put up with this long term? And I think your higher self is saying the reward for being able to do that is to have the kind of relationship that you want. And so that's why it's really important for you to establish these boundaries now and move on from this person. Your first chocolate lovers card says melted chocolate, goodness. And on the back it says, this card represents the peacemaker and crowd pleaser. While you can see the good in people, being practical of mind and down to earth will evoke a sense of integrity, inspiring others to seek your advice. While it is important to be there for everyone, it is equally as important to set aside time for yourself. Putting yourself first will make you a better friend, lover, parent, or colleague. I allow myself to go with the flow and make time for myself. I remember my true essence. And this is just a reiteration of what I've already said. I do feel like for a lot of people in this pile, you are the mediators, the peacemakers. You are people pleasers in your heart, and you don't really like confrontation. So it's very easy for you to almost get walked over. And you do like to see the best in people. And I think you do see the best in this particular person with this lover's card at the beginning of your spread. You saw all the great qualities that they had. And now that these negative qualities, these things that are not serving you, have grown up or have come to your attention, it's more difficult for you to overlook the good things. It's like it's hard for you to see red flags because you'd rather focus on the green. Like I said, for a lot of you with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I think this person expects much more of your time, your resources, your energy from you than they are willing to give. And because of that, this situation, this relationship, friendship, romantic, whatever, is draining you. And you need to be able to extend that same level of care and attention to detail that you are giving to this person to yourself. And that's what your higher self is really trying to push through here, is that you need to have discipline when it comes to your boundaries and setting the tone for, this is how I'm going to be treated, and I'm going to make sure that my needs are met in the same way that I would want my friends' needs to be met, my lovers' needs to be met, whatever. Your second chocolate lovers card says Turkish delight, adventure. And on the back it says, your heightened sense of curiosity will find you in all kinds of situations, places, and mixing with ethnic or multicultural friends. Laughter and richness of life is what you are seeking right now. Prepare for foreign travel or fantasy. Your mind seeks new sources of stimulation as your journey takes you to depths of your soul you never knew existed. I open my heart to new adventures, and with an open mind, I seek new experiences. And this goes with that Six of Wands and the Four of Wands at the end of your spread. This is overcoming the feeling of stagnation that's indicated by death in reverse and opening yourself up to possibilities. This is your higher self assuring you that if you let go of this person and you move on and you continue in your life with your boundaries, you will still have great experiences. You will meet all kinds of people who spark your interest and make your life exciting and treat you better than what this person has been treating you. And so there's no reason to stress out about it or hesitate or feel like there's nothing for you beyond what this person has to offer, because there are people who will really enjoy you and have new adventures with you and make your life exciting and fun and more reciprocal than what you have currently. All right, my pile fours, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.